Hi, my name is Ariana Meany. I'm here to discuss Martin Luther King Jr.'s famous speech, Time to Break a Silence. The speech was used to convey a message about the United States foreign policy and how it was hypocritical when compared to the inequality in the present day United States when looking at the civil rights issues of Black Americans. He spoke at a New York church in New York City that had a reputation for putting on progressive events. The speech was given to a large community with mostly civil rights activists. In order to convince his audience that the civil rights movement in the United States should oppose the Vietnam War, he appealed to their ethos, their pathos, and their logos. The ethos being his authority and his right to speak about this claim. He said that in the speech, many people have questioned him about his wisdom and his path, and they have asked him, Dr. King, why are you speaking about the war? What gives you the right? He mentions later that he is a preacher by calling, and it should not surprise people that this issue of the Vietnam War would be in his field of moral vision, which I thought was to serve and illustrate his authority on how to speak about this matter and why he is a Black American, so no other person would have a better understanding of the plight at hand. The pathos was him issuing a central rhetorical strategy. Pathos is a method that is applied to represent feelings or emotions in speeches or any kind of writing. When Dr. King said that I have the exact quote here, we have been repeatedly faced with cruel irony of watching Negro and white boys on TV screens as they kill and die together for a nation that has been unable to see them together in the same schools. That is illustrating the clear picture and a violent image of death that would trigger any sane person to look at the situation without the rose-colored glasses of the era. It also reminds people of the obvious inequalities in the image of the everyday life of a Black American in the United States. Lastly, in his famous speech, Martin Luther King Jr. Uses logos as it appeals to the reasoning of the viewer and the listener. His argument was used to his benefit because he had facts, he had data, he had logic. So he says that he has visited hospitals across the United States of soldiers that have come home, and he says that there are at least 20 to 40 casualties in each hospital for every one Viet Cong kill. So he says that an exact quote that I wrote down was, we visited hospitals with at least 20 casualties from American firepower for one Viet Cong inflicted injury. So far, we have killed 1 million of them, mostly children. In this, he uses a great pause to emotionally connect with his viewer, and he makes the point very clear that the United States policy in Vietnam is greatly inconsistent with its own treatment of Black Americans in the United States. I would say that he uses a lot of strong pauses in his speeches. I mean, he's a wonderful speaker and he can convey emotion very well, but it really added weight to the words that he was saying and the way he was delivering them. You can tell that he speaks from this undeniable passion and visionary. When I was listening to the speech, I was trying to use active listening, and I was trying to write down important quotes, and I was pausing it at certain moments so that I could write down the words that he was saying, which I could refer back to later in the speech after I was finished. And I felt like I had to struggle with staying off my phone with the constant alerts that I get from many different applications, whether it be email, school, banking, my kids' school, work, different people texting me, social media. So I felt that during the hour, or it's about 56 minutes that speech was, I probably paused it 7 times, 4, so that I could rewind it and listen to important statements again, and the other 3 so that I could take a break, go pee, and so that I could scroll. And I lost about 10 minutes of mindless scrolling until I decided, okay, you need to get back to work. And then at the end, I highlighted key points that I wanted to go further in depth. I did a little online research, and that is how I made my video.